Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Evil Within. Now, we're in this weird position where we don't know where a checkpoint is and we're crawling through what I can only guess is supposed to be the bottom of the stem system, just almost complete nothingness. There's zombies crawling around and we're hearing voices of Lily and Father Theodore's messing with us. We kind of just had a boss fight, so the game will feel very rushed if we just go to another boss fight. Uh, I'm having to record an extra episode specifically because of that factor. Let's see. Like, that seems like things are going to spin around a little bit more, and maybe we'll get into more of a mechanical area. This game would have been better if it was a mechanical, if it had more of a mechanical section. The game itself has stopped being anything of any real challenge because of the stamina system now. Like, I can just do this and lock in and get a headshot, and then it immediately takes us out of the stamina. We finally found a reason to either turn on infinite stamina or simply make a decent effort to upgrade our stamina in total. With this system, which I've been saving up green gel to get for quite a while, we are also, is Lily. To get back to the story, the father thought his daughter died in a fire. Mobius faked her death. He was wrong. I don't know if he has any real reason to feel terrible about it. Like, you would feel terrible about it emotionally, certainly, that you gave up on your daughter and that your wife, who never believed that she was really dead, believed that this secret organization of Mobius had done this, had killed her and kidnapped her. But, I mean, what are you really supposed to take from that? Like, you should believe all people who are grieving and who have lost their daughters, who might fall into the thinking patterns and thought that their child isn't actually dead. I mean, it's fairly obvious that almost any parent who lost a kid would be in a stage of denial, and it's fairly obvious that many parents would potentially lock into that stage of denial and not make any further progress down the grief sections. This really makes the game way more actiony, and also it does seem like maybe you don't get as much green gel, because pretty much up until this point everything I've killed has given me green gel, with a few non cases in which it hasn't. So it's but we're still getting other items instead of green gel, so we're still fine. It's hardly a case of this being a waste. We're seeing a lot of dead bodies. A lot of people who had apparently not succumbed to Father Theodore's mental control and instead just got killed. I think we may very well just have a boss fight in this section. And this may be a situation where maybe we don't even kill Father Theodore, but the wife who is somehow trapped in STEM decides to kill Father Theodore, and then we get into a third act just to build her up as even a bigger challenge. I didn't kill that guy, oddly. And I imagine at a certain point we would. And you don't even need to know how many shots you need now, because it pulls you out of the stamina mode as soon as you've killed everything. I imagine if I just kept going in that direction, I'd hit an invisible wall. And yeah, there's almost certainly little collectibles around here. But they really aren't going to give us anything. We're still at the point where we need the assault rifle. We have this flamethrower new gun that we probably wouldn't be able to use in a few. Yeah, I still kind of have this thought that maybe Lily will be a lot older mentally than the little girl, because it was years and years, it seems like, after this happened. And what we're hearing may not be Lily's voice at all, and it may just Theodore screwing you up.
I do. I need to find her.
Fine. Then come to me.
See, this might be a case where we get captured in the other girl who's popped in and popped out, who I also had a thought maybe is just going to be a hallucination. Can we see anything? Well, there's the girl, Lily. But I don't have a reason to shoot her. And we've shot first and asked questions later multiple times. And the music goes quiet.
Lily? Is it really you?
See, Theodore is trying to get into our head and turn us into one of his followers, one of the monsters that are burned. Yeah. There's a lot of things that could certainly happen. A lot of twists that could just be shoved into the story. I don't think it's going to change much, though.
No. Lily!
There she is. Your precious daughter.
I wonder if Theodore just tricked him.
Dad? You let this happen to me. Why didn't you save me?
The graphics still look a little weak.
Please. I couldn't. I wanted to.
It almost kind of feels like Theodore was supposed to have been brought in to help Lily adjust. Like, try to adjust her mind to leaving the STEM system, which seems like it's very, very hard to safely leave the STEM system. But yeah, this does just seem like all hallucination.
You are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. Unless you join me. Do that, and I can make your dreams come true.
Seeing the other girl just kind of disappeared.
Lily from Myra. Once I have the power of the core, you will be truly free. It will take more than bullets to stop me. Will you never learn?
Well, I wasn't surprised.
Shot me. Sebastian, why?
No, no.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting her to show up, that girl. They really just brought her into the story to shoot her and to set her up as potentially a DLC character, Torres. But is she still shot? It looks like it. And by the looks of it, she's dead.
You can't let him get to you. You gotta give that son of a bitch some payback.
Sebastian? What's wrong? Are you all right? You've been working too hard.
Now we have the wife,
It's
Myra.
making you delirious.
Myra?
So we had a dark, spooky sequence after basically just walking down a empty hallway, which seems like they ran out of.
Where?
Seems like they ran out of budget,
I'm home.
and now we're having
I-
a dream sequence. And let's see. Locked doors. Let's see if we can find a photograph or something. Probably won't get any bullets. Look at this weirdly disgruntled mirror with scratches or writing on it so that you can't see yourself. It is still the character of Sebastian from the second game, not the younger version that we've seen, and definitely you can see that the animation is still pretty bad. Yeah, as far as the little curtains. So do we want to go downstairs, or do we want to go to Lily's?
Lily's room. Just the way it used to be.
Yeah.
The way I wish it had stayed.
Is there something we're supposed to figure out about the positioning of a room? I don't really think so. One more slide. Other than the fact that it would have been fairly easy for her to jump out the window had they done a fire escape ladder on the window. She would have had 2 exits to that room if there was a fire. But the whole thing was fake, so we know
Lily's drawings.
that wouldn't have really mattered.
God, I hope she still has some of that innocence after all this.
Yeah. You feel like you've seen this before, but you can't quite put your finger on it, where there's more of these collectibles. Again, I think that's just referencing some other game that Bethesda published. I don't even think it's references to games made by Tango Gameworks, which I believe is the name of the company that
Buried
developed
myself
this.
and work so hard. If I could only get some of that time back.
And remember, they started
Spend it with them.
with the photo being burnt and hiding the image of the wife, and they really gave up on that as that being a standard kind of anime cliche of, oh, let's hide the face of one of the characters so that the viewer is surprised.
Lily?
This house is basically the same layout of one of the houses at the very first section of the game. So they've changed a little bit of the layout, but There definitely is some reused assets here. We started the game walking through this area. And see, I doubt this is...
Myra's last communication. It was hidden with her files.
Like, it does feel to me that this is just stretching for time.
So crazy at the time. But I should have believed her.
But they pretty much...
Dearest Sebastian,
Mobius knows how to make people sound
if you've
crazy.
received this letter, then I fear the worst has come to pass. It means that my investigation got too close to the truth. It means that you may never see me again. I'm sorry I kept it from you, but it was to protect you. From either the truth or my madness. I've enclosed a copy of my files. I only hope that you never receive them, but if you do, it's up to you to finish what I started. Please, find justice for Lily, and for me. I love you with all of my heart. Myra.
Yeah, I kind of wish all these lines of dialogue were written that way. And see, it really does make Sebastian feel like if he had all that evidence, why he didn't look for Myra at the very least.
I'm so sorry, Sebastian.
And I wonder if there's a good and a bad
You've
Myra.
endured so much. All this time, all alone.
It's my fault. You tried to tell me. But I didn't believe you.
But he didn't even look for her if he assumed she was crazy, it seems like.
And now I'm so messed up. I'm talking to an hallucination.
Yeah, the problem here is this is all trying to be a mental horror story.
Save Lily from the fire.
And it then gets undercut by the action zombie game elements.
That's not
And
true,
the writing's
Sebastian.
not that good.
There was no fire to save her from. You know this now.
But I couldn't protect her.
How could you? Mobius are a force of nature. What you're doing, it's like blaming yourself for an earthquake. It wasn't your fault.
Interesting, the controller vibrated
You
when
have
she
to
put her
stop
hand on his
torturing
leg.
yourself. You're a good man, Sebastian. That's why I married you. And this time, you can save her.
You can see he's still wearing his wedding ring.
There are too many forces against you. You have to stay strong. Don't let the past defeat you. I forgive you. And Lily will too. But the most important thing is that you forgive yourself.
More and more this really just does feel like Sebastian is just going through some kind of mental therapy, and the whole Mobius and STEM conspiracy theory story
Right. She's always been right.
it is
Theodore uses my
not
own guilt
real.
against me. But guilt for what? It's their fault, not mine. They took everything from me. I didn't start any of this. But I'm gonna finish it. And God help anybody that stands in my way.
Alright, somebody's knocking on the door. And they're gonna keep on knocking on the door. And we're gonna get attacked. Now Hoffman is talking to me.
What? Hoffman? What happened?
So Hoffman is the Asian
She brought you
character.
here.
It's just too many characters. She's all
Sorry,
scarred up.
Sebastian. I tried to save her, but
No,
I wonder if Hoffman killed her.
I shot her.
the bullet wound was superficial. She died from injuries sustained in a battle with those things.
Damn it.
Weird, they have to make the
Die
good
like
guy
that.
not responsible in any way
She's a
for
good
killing her.
soldier. She just wanted to save Lily. And now she's dead.
So I guess she can't be Lily, at least. But she really is just...
Again.
She's just a character, just thrown in to die, and maybe
No, Sebastian.
to add
It's
some
not your
DLC.
Don't let him do this to you.
Would be funny if Hoffman turned out to be Lily. That actually
You're
would
right.
make sense.
That goddamn son of a bitch.
Like,
This is what he wants. Trying to make me feel guilty.
Hoffman's long black hair,
He's the one who did
Sebastian's
this.
long black hair.
Not me.
If Sebastian was shown in a Japanese version as a more Japanese person, that would
Okay.
certainly make more
It's
sense.
time to clean house. I've just gotta find Theodore.
That's not the problem. Destroying Liam's machine worked. Theater's out there in the open now. The problem is getting to him.
What do you mean?
I picked this up on the exterior surveillance system cameras. Have a look. Theodore's
Just-
stronghold appeared in the middle of Union, but it's surrounded by what looks like a massive wall of fire.
Shit. I won't be able to get through it.
Why are you going to show me an
I think that there may
image
be a way.
on the screen
I
far
found a
away?
device in Liam's equipment room that should be able to help.
Great. Let's see it.
It's not quite ready. I still have to do a few tweaks.
Okay.
Remember, she's a doctor,
Go do
so
what you have to do.
how she'd be able to build a
remember there
device, I
being
don't
a
know.
hotel near there. I'll go check if it's safe, then send you the coordinates.
Hmm.
You can meet me there with the device.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
So we're at chapter 13, and now we get her assault rifle.
I'm sorry, Esmeralda. I'll make sure you didn't die for nothing. I'm gonna hunt him down like the dog that he is.
If he said her first name was Esmeralda, if Torres said her first name was Esmeralda, she said it exactly once in this whole story. She is just like,
A few more things, Hoffman.
let's see. Let's talk to her, I
Theodore's
guess.
been messing with my mind. Every time I see him, he uses my own nightmares against me.
That sounds like him. He's a master of neurolinguistic programming. And in here, the linguistic part becomes irrelevant. Why talk when you can get straight into your mind?
He almost had me. But I searched inside myself, and there was someone there. Someone who told me what I needed to do. I know I can take him on now.
Yes, I can see that you're ready.
I don't know why we have these extra.
Right.
The team psychologist.
Like, extra lines of dialogue here that really should have just been left on the cutting room floor.
Esmeralda might have lived if she didn't try to save me.
Don't feel guilty. We talked while I tried to save her. She told me about the plan. She wanted it to succeed. She made the decision to get you. She knew the risks and did what she thought was right. She said that she owed you.
Owed me? For what? We just met.
Esmeralda is the operative who took Lily from your home and burned it down. She's felt
Okay.
guilty ever since. That's why she joined Myra. That's why she risked her life to save you.
What?
don't hate her, Sebastian. She didn't have a choice at the time. And she did everything she could to make it right.
I can't hate her. She sacrificed herself for the plan. She made her amends.
Yeah, that's weird. That is definitely weird to throw in here. Now, oddly, you can't take this belt. That would have been a nice little pouch. Okay. What else do we want? I mean, we can have a super long coffee break. Hey, let's try something. Let's hold the B button and see if this speeds up. No, let's tap A and see if it speeds up. No. So neither one of it speeds up, and there's literally no reason why that should take that long. Let's see. Storyline wise, I guess it's like a medical syringe we could go get, and we've got like 6,000 green gel, which might be useful. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it though. The weird part about this is I don't know where we're supposed to be going. I guess we are supposed to be going back this way. Which it does kind of make it seem like you're not going to get back to the original Union City section. Like, that does just seem like it is not an option. Let's see. Shotgun, load, handgun. It's real questionable though if we're gonna see anything new here, since we had already cleaned out this area to do the little side mission. Like, honestly, we may very well exit this area and have nothing to fight whatsoever. Even if it is just the standard things, they won't be much of a challenge. See, that's still locked. Everything's kind of reset, and well, there actually is a legitimate reason to go back to this, isn't there? Because we can get another. Well, we can start by running this way. Has anything changed over here? No. It still seems like there's 2 collectibles, and we probably missed at least one of them. And we can have another slide, but we only have a couple more slides left. But it will give us green goo, and we should start to think about either increasing the stamina or health. It really does feel like we are at the end of the game.
Kidman.
Yes, Sebastian? What are you thinking about?
Lily. Everything that's happening in here is because of her. Everyone wants her. Like she's just some object to be owned. She's the real victim here.
Here's a good image of Lily.
Poor thing doesn't know what it's like
if her face was changed
years with Mobius have probably destroyed her innocence.
As kind of a mask, she could be Hoffman.
I hope so. Her
easily
was stolen from her. She didn't get a chance to go to school, to have friends, all the birthdays and holidays she missed. It's heartbreaking to think of what she's been through. Lily was always so precocious, so smart and observant. She had this way of looking at you, where you knew that she understood you. Not just what you were saying, but what you were feeling too. I always knew she was special. But I thought it was just because she was my daughter.
Lily is special. She was found because of her off-the-chart scores on her standardized tests.
I keep referring to her in the past tense. It still doesn't seem real to me that she's alive. And in here.
She is. But you've got to save her before you can start to rebuild your relationship. I'm here to help. Just let me know what I can do for you.
Yeah. There's a major problem with the fact that the Japanese version of this game has the main characters as Japanese, and then the Western version of this game had the main character as more of a Western guy. Because it did open this door in my mind of trying to figure out, well, am I supposed to adjust in my mind for that, or not? Still haven't used any of these smoke bombs, and I don't have any keys, so there was no point in doing that.
You are getting powerful, but this place is dangerous and getting worse. There's no shame in using stealth now and again, and I can help you with that.
We were going to just increase our toughness, and let's see. If it had been barely enough to kill you, you can get Defiance, or we could get 25% more health. I think Defiance is what we really would want. So 8,000 green gels, what we're looking for. That just stops us from like any instant kills, and at some point we may want to go down this route and get second chance. So then you have multiple ways in which you increase your health. We don't really need this increased. This would have been an interesting idea, so maybe eventually we'll get to Predator. And honestly, if we start to really run out of stamina, there is infinite stamina we could turn on, or we could just turn on the stamina gauge and play legitimately. That would be a lot of green gel. It is really questionable how you would have all that green gel in one playthrough on casual. Like, if anything, it feels like you would have to play the game 2 or 3 times. Alright, weapon upgrade now. I think the main thing we wanted to do is get explosive bolts. And we still don't have enough to do that. Firing rate of the sniper gun probably is not a bad idea. And reload time of the sniper gun is probably not a bad idea. Firepower with the sniper gun not really needed to be upgraded. Shotgun still could use an upgrade. And reload speed on the shotgun could be increased. Reload speeds at max. Everything on the handgun is at max with the exception of the critical shot, which we could try to max out before we finish the game. Critical 2, and this is probably not that useful, but it would be fairly helpful. That being said, I just completely forgot about the firepower on the assault gun. Yeah, so that's a problem. See, we don't want to make any medical syringes. Probably don't want to make any freeze bolts. Probably just want to make a bunch of handgun shots. And yeah, we can see there isn't any more weapons. If we do get a different kind of weapon, it is going to use a different kind of a already existing type of ammo, because they wouldn't have it broken up this way otherwise. So yeah, maybe we'll get like a handheld assault rifle type gun, like an SMG that uses assault rifle shells or handgun bullets. Also seems fairly obvious we won't get any more crossbow bolts. So if there is another weapon, it's got to be some kind of infinite rocket launcher gun or something. There is one thing now it seems like we could do, however. Not the flamethrower, but the assault rifle in chain attack mode. Infinite ammo. Letting you gain more time and shoot things. It seems fairly obvious that you can work your way through this. You have to be kind of careful. But
maybe I lost my edge.
Yeah, 40,000 points. Let's see if we can do gallery mode this way. Let's see. So, yeah, maybe you can pull off something more here, but maybe not.
Practice makes perfect.
So that worked. It got me some more green gel. So, yeah. Maybe with the assault rifle and auto aim you could get up here to getting 4,000 points. Or maybe get some more green gel. I don't know if it's really worth your effort though to do any of that. It feels like we are so close towards the end of the game anyways that a little bit more green gel here and there is not going to help you. And we are kind of in this weird position where now with the slowdown shots, the revolver is the better game changer because I can just aim so well with that, with the slowdown shots that. Let's go ahead and make a save file since we haven't made one in a while. Excuse me as I have something in my eye. Yeah. We don't have anything that we can scan over here. It feels like everything will just be surrounded by a wall of fire. Feels like when we were supposed to have walked out here the first time, we would have seen the big fire flamethrower.
What's going on in there, Sebastian? STEM is going crazy. It seems like it's becoming even more destabilized.
You don't know the half of it.
I take it you had something to do with it?
I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have to, Kidman. I'm gonna finish this once and for all. I'm gonna save Lily.
Now, I'm not sure if Sebastian can say over the radio that Theodore has gone crazy.
Okay? It's important that I know what's going on in there so that I can help you again. You get me?
I do. I'll be in touch.
Okay. So we've got nothing here. on the map, we've kind of got nothing here. So, a couple of options that we can do. We can run over this direction and come in here and see if we have any respawned collectibles. And by the looks of it, the answer to that is no. We have not either been away from this area long enough, or it's just not going to happen. There would have been this whole side mission that would have happened. So yeah, I guess we just make a beeline, as it were. It is just going to be kind of oddly quiet. We have some barricaded pathways, so we'll have to work our way around. But that's kind of it. It's just super quiet. And it's not supposed to be quiet. It's just that this game does not have respawning enemies, and because this game does not have respawning enemies, we had already done this. We had already done the whole side mission. We had already done everything. And so we can come back into this safe house and see if anything has respawned. And I think the answer is no. And the hacker guy is gone because we did that whole side mission, which would have had us walk back and forth. So next, our goal is to go to this hotel. And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't run into a single zombie. I'm going the wrong way. Maybe we'll find one. I don't think we ever got into this area. And I don't know if that means anything. Yeah. So, unless there's a boss fight at the Sanctuary Hotel, this is just absolutely nothing. Not even just a generic, hey, come back and try again, grind on some zombies stuff. Like, even that's not an option.
The hotel's clear, Hoffman. Are you done with your tweaks?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, I'm sending you the coordinates.
So it seems like it's just going to be a fade out, fade in. Anytime any third party character has to move, you just fade out and fade in. Is this going to attract a bunch of enemies? Very possibly.
Here it is.
What is it?
It's a portable field stabilizer. O'Neill must have been working on it before Theodore changed him. It creates a small area of stabilization that should keep the fire away.
How small?
Its circumference is about as big as a safe house.
Big enough to protect me. Good. How's it work?
That's the tough part. It's a prototype, so it's a little temperamental. I have to operate it.
So we're gonna have to protect her?
While you're in a wall of flame.
I can't let you do that. It's too dangerous.
So is staying here if you can't get inside. Besides, I'm sick of hiding. The only way we're gonna get through this
I
is
still
if we
feel
work
like
together.
she might be
It's the
Lily.
only way to save Lily. And what if you need emergency psychoanalysis? Who's gonna help you then?
You know just what to say to convince me, Hoffman.
Of course, if she is Lily,
I'm the team psychologist.
then
That you are.
You might want to prepare.
who is the little girl we've seen
me know when you're ready to
before? And why doesn't she just not know that? Speak to Hoffman to begin the trip to Theodore's stronghold. Yeah, we just kind of constantly are running into this situation where the game is not really giving us much gameplay and instead just putting us through a very linear experience. And I'm like locked into a no gun section of gameplay. I can't pull out the gun and target anybody. And going up here and checking again, probably not the smartest thing in the world to do, but like, it probably would have been nice to just have him actually secure the hotel and open each of these doors, and behind each of those doors have there be a actual zombie or creature of some sort. Something to risk it. Where's the mirror? We heard a mirror break. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Hoffman's journal. This handwritten in journal is hard to decipher, but with effort you manage to read most of the entry. Liam's transformation was horrifying yet fascinating. It went beyond neurolinguistic programming. Theodore's words did more than influence Liam. They physically transformed him. No wonder Theodore wants control over STEM. It has amplified his already formidable influential powers. Things he could do in here. Sebastian's personality isn't as weak as Liam's was, but he still suffers from unresolved trauma. Theodore will no doubt try to use his new abilities to break Sebastian down. I just hope that he's strong enough to resist. Alright, well, thanks for the bout of confidence. Or hope of confidence. Yeah. I still very much feel like I would prefer the ability to just over level on bullets when you can pick them up. I'd almost prefer to be able to be over encumbered. And what do we do now? Like, we were just in here. There's kind of no reason to even be here. Instead, what I'm gonna do is, since we've typically gone long, I'm gonna make a save spot, and we'll go short today. And that'll just be the end of this episode. Yeah. I can't help but think that we are in chapter 13. And that is just gonna be it. Let's see. If we look at the names of these chapters, by the way, it's ISRBLOPAHRBS. Yeah, that doesn't seem like that spells anything. I thought maybe all the save files in order, all the chapters in order might spell something. But yeah, I don't think so. I think there's any trick there. That's something Dead Space like 1 did. And I don't think most people even recognize that it happened, so probably was a huge waste of effort on the writers to make sure that happened. Yep. Yeah. It really does feel like we're gonna get just to the end of the game very quickly and have a boss fight, and then maybe have a big boss fight on top of that with the wife. We may not even really fight Theodore. It doesn't seem like we're going to get back to the original City of Union ever. So whatever we missed there, we've just missed. That seems like a huge waste. It kind of makes it feel like there was 2, maybe even 3 teams that developed 2 or 3 completely different open world sections, on top of there being plenty of linear sections that obviously didn't get developed any further than that. I imagine like the nature preserve section was supposed to be a much longer, larger section of the game. For a second there, I even thought that we were going to have some kind of time manipulation storyline that happens where we went back in time and saved Torres, and that's why she said she owed Sebastian, but instead they just throw in that weird curveball that Torres was the Mobius agent that kidnapped Lily and then burned down their house, and then the nanny, I guess she killed the nanny too. Like the nanny is mentioned in the picture, so there, it's weird that that's not getting mentioned at all. But I guess maybe it's just another plot thread that won't be touched upon. That there is some distinctive bad writing in this game, just in the fact that there's so many characters that were added to the story to really do absolutely nothing. When you could have merged, say, Stefano and Father Theodore as one character, you could probably have merged several of the Mobius agents as one character. Seems like you could probably have merged Hoffman and Isabella as one character, Torres as one character. The fact that I even can remember half these names is surprising. Kidman is an important character from the first series, so she definitely could have been a better character to have in this series too. When I think about like Resident Evil 4, you have Leon S. Kennedy and you have the President's Daughter, and then you have like one major reoccurring bad guy, and then you have Ava, who shows up in a few places, and then you have the Prince character, who, and then you have the final boss character, and that's kind of it. Everybody else is either a monster. There's some notable large monster creatures, sub bosses you fight in Resident Evil 4, but they're not actual characters in that they have names or that they have personalities. They're just things you attack, and it's just like a much tighter story because of that. And like, you really do feel like by the time you're at the end of Resident Evil 4 that you know who Leon is, even if you hadn't played any of the previous Resident Evil games that Leon was in, where he was kind of a different character in I believe Resident Evil 2, where he was. Maybe he was in 3. But in The Evil Within 2, there's just tons and tons of people. Tons of people for no reason. Tons of open world sections that aren't big enough to really feel like open world sections for no reason. The whole game could have just been linear. The whole story could have just been an action zombie game, because that's pretty much all you're accomplishing at the moment. And now that I have this new sensibility where I can slow down time, it's a overly simplified action zombie game where I'm gonna probably succeed extremely well if I ever actually see any more zombies, which is kind of a big if. Like, we may only see 20 or 30 more zombies in the entire game. Anyways, I don't want to belabor the points. That's going to be it for this recording. I wouldn't be surprised if we're done in the next couple episodes. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.